So this guide is going to walk through the campaign, the SEO campaign process that we use at LCUBED, and you can see here a diagram or a slide that shows an outline for this. It's broken into a few primary steps, so you can see barrier removal, off-site optimization, on-site optimization, and then some other steps that are actually more web marketing and now SEO campaign oriented, but I'll step through each of those so you understand what they are. Underpinning the whole process is our monitoring and tracking, and because SEO can take some time, and there are various different aspects to SEO that we should be tracking, we need to keep a close eye on all of that throughout the entire program so that we know how we're going through the SEO process. So let's start with barrier removal. Now, in the last sort of, 5 years or so, we've seen the need for barrier removal reduced dramatically. Barriers are basically any barrier that stops a search engine spider from actually finding the textual content of your website. Now those barriers have generally reduced because people have become more and more search engine aware, and they've begun to understand what barriers are and how they can be avoided. So an example might be a website completely created in Flash, whilst both Adobe and Google and the other search engines are working on this. At the moment it's still quite difficult for search engines to clearly get to the keywords and pull out all of the actual text or copy in a website that's made of Flash. So that means that ranking well for a particular keyword is going to be quite difficult, because Google can only really use off-site ranking factors to establish what the site is about and how important it should be and where it should be ranked. So removing barriers is obviously a very important part of the process, and it's generally an on-site process. So, and you can see the next step obviously here is on-site. Now, the steps involved with on-site optimization really are oriented at making sure that we've got the topics and the keywords populated around the website itself, and the nuances of this are sort of around the copy and doing on-page optimization, and that's focusing on a single page and optimizing a single page for hopefully a one or two different keywords or phrases, and that's really as far as we should go. There's also the work we can do around information architectures, or the structure of a website, and the way both the navigation flows and people would flow, and the search engine flows obviously through that site. And we can also concentrate on on-site linking. So one of the things that we do have control over on the web is the way our own website links to itself, and through the use of hyperlinks and navigation. And there are tricks that we can put in place to emphasize certain keywords and to make sure that our target key pages or our landing pages for those key terms that we want to rank for are actually seen as the only pages on our site that are relevant for those particular key terms. This is something of a generalization, but we can probably say reasonably well that the process of on-site optimization is about setting specific topics and dictating specific keywords that we want to rank well for. So it's really about relevance, and relevance is obviously one of the two factors that will help us in ranking well, and the other one, the second one, being importance. And the process of off-site optimization, which we're coming on to now, is more about importance. So it's about establishing how important our website or those particular web pages are for a particular keyword. So with off-site optimization, often what we're trying to do is build backlinks. So we want other people to be linking to us, and those links basically infer to Google that we are important for a particular key term. The key term in off-site optimization is generally established by things like the link text, so the text that actually is, the coloured hyperlink, or maybe the associated title tag that comes with those links. But generally, what we're after with off-site and backlinking is to generate more high-quality, important, relevant backlinks to our site. So that's people that are linking from their site to our site, not necessarily vice versa. And those infer importance, and they suggest to Google and the other search engines that our site is quite important and important for these particular key terms. So as you can imagine, off-site optimization is probably more challenging than on-site optimization. Generally speaking, we have control over our own websites, and therefore we can make whatever changes we want to make within those sites. However, off-site, we don't have the same level of control or influence. So there are various tactics that we can put in place and strategies that we can deploy for gaining those backlinks and being seen as a more full part of the internet. So one of the sort of web marketing premises is that what we want to try and do is become part of the internet rather than being sort of a sealed off website of our own that isn't connected to the internet. So we want to get as linked in as much as we possibly can to the surrounding internet. So our off-site optimization tutorials are coming later on, so you can see some of those and see some of the tactics that we can use to generate these off-site backlinks that are both coming from important sites, influential sites, but also from relevant sites and targeting relevant keywords, and how we manage the balance between this importance and relevance.